Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we have some intense political developments unfolding in South Africa that could shake the very foundation of the government. We are diving into a dramatic warning issued by Patriotic Alliance, DA, Federal Council Chairperson, Helen Zille, who has issued a stark message to President Cyril Ramaphosa. The message? If he decides to dismiss DA ministers from his cabinet for voting against the national budget, it could spell the end of the Government of National Unity, GNU. Stay tuned as we break this down and explore the potential fallout from this political standoff. As you know, South Africa's current political climate is anything but stable. The 2024 general elections resulted in no outright winner, forcing the African National Congress, ANC, led by President Cyril Ramaphosa, into a coalition government. This coalition includes a number of opposition parties, including the DA. The aim was to bring about stability, but, as we can see, tensions are brewing within this very partnership. The latest flashpoint: the national budget, and how the DA's refusal to support it could cause major repercussions within the coalition. Let's get into the heart of the matter. Helen Zille's comments have sparked controversy across the political spectrum. She's warned that if President Ramaphosa moves to dismiss DA ministers over their vote against the national budget, he risks collapsing the unity government. According to Zille, this would have catastrophic consequences not just for the DA, but for the fragile unity government itself. Zille is standing firm, defending her party's decision to vote against the budget. She argues that the DA's refusal to support the national budget is entirely consistent with their core values. The DA has always been an advocate for fiscal discipline, good governance, and addressing what they describe as critical inefficiencies and unsustainable spending patterns within the government. For Zille and the DA, voting in favor of the budget would have been a betrayal of their mandate to the voters, particularly as they continue to push for reforms to ensure that South Africa's government operates more efficiently and with greater accountability. In her statement, Zille was unequivocal. She said, "Voting for a budget that we fundamentally disagree with would be a betrayal of our mandate." She further warned that if President Ramaphosa proceeds with dismissing DA ministers for this vote, it would lead to the disintegration of the very coalition that sustains his government. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Currently, the DA holds key ministerial positions in the cabinet, including those in public works, education, and trade and industry. These positions give the DA significant influence over national policy and decision-making. If Ramaphosa moves to remove these ministers, it would not only impact the DA, but it could also dramatically shift the balance of power within the cabinet, leaving Ramaphosa in a much weaker position. Such a move could trigger a political crisis, forcing the president to seek out new coalition partners, or even, potentially, call for early elections to resolve the deadlock. This situation highlights just how fragile the Government of National Unity really is. While the coalition was formed to ensure a broad-based government that represents a variety of interests, the reality is that managing a coalition of such ideological diversity is far from easy. There are stark differences in priorities and values between the ANC and opposition parties like the DA, particularly when it comes to fiscal policy. The DA has long been critical of the ANC's approach to public spending, especially as the country faces mounting debt and a need for economic reform. Political analysts are weighing in, noting that the situation is nothing short of a stress test for the unity government. Professor Lesebe Tefo, a political analyst at the University of South Africa, remarked that this could be a defining moment for the GNU. If Ramaphosa acts punitively and removes DA ministers from the cabinet, he risks losing crucial allies, further destabilizing an already delicate arrangement. For the DA, this is a high-stakes game. They've been firm in their belief that the current fiscal policies are unsustainable and that South Africa's government must undergo significant reforms to curb wasteful spending. The DA's vote against the budget is a clear message to their supporters that they are committed to these principles, no matter the political cost. And for Helen Zille, this is about more than just the budget. It's about standing by the values that have defined the DA for years, especially when it comes to fiscal responsibility and fighting corruption. But how will President Ramaphosa respond to this challenge? It's still too early to say. As of now, the presidency has not issued a formal response to Zill's remarks, but sources within the government say that Ramaphosa is already in talks with other coalition leaders to try and manage the fallout. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes maneuvering happening right now, with Ramaphosa likely weighing his options very carefully. The last thing he wants is to lose the DA as an ally, as they are a key part of the coalition that helped him form the current government. So, what happens next? We are entering a critical moment for South Africa's government of national unity. If the coalition can't manage this internal dispute, it could unravel and force the president to either find new partners or call for elections. This scenario would not only have political ramifications, but it could also undermine investor confidence and further destabilize the economy, which is already facing a number of challenges. What's clear is that this is a major test for coalition politics in South Africa. The fragile nature of the GNU, with its diverse range of political ideologies, is being put to the ultimate test. The DA is not backing down from its stance on the budget, and whether President Ramaphosa can find a way to maintain unity within the coalition without compromising on his policies will be crucial in the coming days. We are also seeing the challenges of coalition governance play out on a global stage. In many countries, coalitions are formed to achieve stability, but the underlying tensions and ideological differences can often lead to gridlock and instability. South Africa's situation is a prime example of this. It's not just about balancing power, it's about finding common ground in a political landscape that is deeply divided. As we wait to see how this situation unfolds, one thing is for certain, the stakes couldn't be higher. If Ramaphosa loses the DA as an ally, he could be faced with the daunting task of rebuilding the coalition, or even heading to the polls sooner than anticipated. Before we end, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this situation. Do you think President Ramaphosa will manage to keep the coalition intact, or will this be the beginning of the end for the government of national unity? How do you see the DA's stance on the budget impacting the broader political landscape in South Africa? Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more political updates, and don't forget to leave your comments below. We love hearing from you. Stay tuned for more updates as this political drama unfolds. See you next time.